Well, hi. Quick note about this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like crap, and I sound congested. It's because I am.
Life is miserable.
So I'm gonna try tonight. I'm gonna try really hard. This is the Michael Jordan flu game of podcasts. Except this is gonna be way, way, way crappier. Welcome to this episode of Objectively Wrong, presented by The Next Man Up. I said that as unclear as humanly possible. As always, I am John. That's Ibtine. And I'm going to be sneezing through most of this. And doing that, this is going to be great.
You're disgusting.
Anyway, I feel disgusting, really. Like, I can't. It's all up in these sinuses.
I was going to say, how are you this fine week, Josh? Josh. Damn.
Josh, really?
Let's restart this episode.
No.
I can never come back from that.
It's tough to come back from that. We are talking about Josh Jacobs at some point tonight, so I guess that's why.
Dude, I was ready to talk about Josh, and I just went for it.
You went for it. Obviously forgot I was a human.
You know what? Good segue. How was your week, Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, right. For John, not great. I'm sick for some reason. I would recommend, this is an episode you should listen to. Don't watch this one. Just listen to this one. It's probably still going to be miserable, but listen to it. Maybe just let the YouTube sit at 0 for this one.
Always.
Actually, we're doing better on the. We've had some new additions to the Facebook group for some reason.
Oh, a lot more than I love bots.
They're great. Bots are great. Bots be dope.
I don't know what Elon's problem with them are.
Bots are the best, man. Yeah. It's giving me the sense that we're not stupid.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk to our season predictions today, team by team, division by division. But first, what's in the news? Well, a few things. Cut day was today.
Yeah, but who cares?
Yeah, it's really not that relevant. Because really, we all want to talk about the big names, right? We all want to talk about the guys that weren't cut, but probably should be moved. So let's start by talking about Albert O from Denver being traded to Philadelphia. FT was not ready for me to bring that up.
I could not care less.
Neither really could I. I'm an Albert O guy. I think he's a good project. That's it. That's all Albert O is.
Like people were like, "Hey, fantasy potential."
That was me last year. I took him as my only tight end in one of my leagues last year. He scored 0 week 1. I'm like, I've made a mistake.
Yeah.
So I just realized this mic has a mute button, so I'm going to use it as a sniffle button tonight, which is great. So, this is going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
I'll do more of the talking today. Okay.
I don't know if that's going to change it. In fact, it might be better if I still power because I'll be able to distract it.
Let me do my best, John. All right, you ready?
Can't wait.
So
while I literally blow my nose on camera, but I'll do it muted.
So, let's talk about running backs. I hate running backs. So we got a couple of running back news. Josh Jacobs signed for the Raiders for up to $12 million this year. We don't really have the base, but I'll look it up to see if anyone has it. Mainly Spotrac. And then we're also going to talk about Jonathan Taylor, who is yet to be traded because they want a first-round pick for him. And no, he's going to start the season on the PUP.
Yeah, so what's funny is the Colts kind of gave him this ultimatum, like either be traded by cut day or we're not moving you. Mm. And we're past that deadline. He wasn't cut. He wasn't traded. Cut day is passed. He is still a Colt. He goes to the pup. He misses the first 4 games. Jonathan Taylor's not being traded for a 1. It's just not going to happen. This is not a Christian McCaffrey situation. I'm just going to get this part of the day out of the way quickly. He's not going to be traded for the McCaffrey price. The Colts are not going to come anywhere near it. Why the hell would they? Think about it. McCaffrey's the better player. He's under team control. The money isn't horribly overburdensome. He's, again, a way better player. Jonathan Taylor just came off a down year in his third year of a second-round pick contract. No. And you want to reset it at $16 million a year? Are you tripping? Fuck out of here. You are not going to get six. I'd be shocked if Jonathan Taylor ever sees a $16 million a year contract. I'd be shocked. In Miami or otherwise. I don't think it's going to happen anywhere.
See the rumors that the Patriots were in for him?
Yeah, after signing Zeke for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot about
I didn't realize.
There's a lot about the Patriots roster that I'm starting to wonder about its
Well, they don't have a
construction.
they don't. I think it's funny. Everybody online is like, "Oh my god, the Patriots only have one quarterback." The Eagles currently have no punters. We have 0 punters on contract right now. 0.
Who's your emergency punter?
I know this answer actually.
Yeah, I know, because I remember you told me it.
Yeah, I know this answer. It used to be Kamu Grugier-Hill, but it no longer plays for us. And our emergency QB used to be Brent Selleck back in the day. Oh my god, who the hell is it now? I totally forget who it is now. Greg Ward was the emergency QB before, but he was just cut as well. I don't know who the emergency punter is.
Yeah, and looking it up on Google won't do anything for me.
Time for sneeze button. You talk now.
Wait, I'm sorry. Jake Elliott has cheating accusations? This is old news that we missed during the offseason.
Cheating on who?
On football.
Jake Elliott cheated on football? Who's the source?
I don't know.
This did not come from a reputable source, otherwise you probably would have seen that.
Well, this is Sports Illustrated.
That's reputable. What?
Okay, so people were pissed off because Britton Covey, who was the emergency holder for Philadelphia, was placing a small white object on the field before like a kickoff, and according to Elliott, it's within the rules.
It is. It 100% is. No, I remember this. Yeah, no. This I did know about. It's the reason it's not. People accuse it of cheating, but they're wrong. That's fine. Yeah. It's like somebody accused me of being 6'1". It's not true.
Anyways, that's not important. Let's talk about Josh Jacobs.
I was like, did he gamble on the game? No.
So what does
Speaking of, the Eagles signed Isaiah Rodgers.
What does this mean for running backs, and what does it mean for the player himself? Probably his last year on Las Vegas. Because
talking about Jacobs now.
Yeah. Talking about Jacobs. Because if you tag him again, he makes what? 14 or 15 million next year?
I think it's 14 to 15. I think it's between the 2 years, it'd be 26 is the number I saw.
That's not happening. And you're probably not signing the kid to a long-term contract. You're not muted when you did that.
Really?
Yep.
No, I'm bad at the button. I'm bad at pushing a button. Anyway, too bad. Yeah, Jacobs is a good back. Hell, he's a great back. But I'm sorry, but we're not going back in time to make him more relevant. It's just facts. This is just the NFL today. O-line, quarterback, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. Like, that's it. It doesn't matter. It's so irrelevant. The Eagles are trotting out a four-headed behemoth of DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott. $7 million for 4 backs. They're all capable.
And then we go to the other side. Kansas City Chiefs are bringing out Isaiah Pacheco, who's, I think, still under $1 million right now, right?
Well, he was like a 7th-round pick. So yeah. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think, is still under contract.
Yeah, not for long.
I think they still have Jerick McKinnon. You know, this is the way of the back. It's about having serviceable players, not all pros. You can't drain your money in those positions. Just can't do it.
All right, let's talk about a running back who can't throw but plays quarterback. Trey Lance.
Trade Lance.
Long-time listeners, first of all, we love you. Will
all three of you
remember that I hated Trey Lance.
You weren't a fan.
Yeah, John loved Trey Lance.
I saw the light.
Turns out it was just a train at the end of that tunnel.
Yeah, the train was coming head on very quickly.
Takes Will Greer's job and will now be backing up Dak Prescott for the foreseeable year before they cut Dak Prescott. Let's be honest with ourselves.
What happened to Cooper Rush?
Just too short.
Is he still there?
No, I don't think so, right? He feels like a Buffalo Bills backup quarterback.
He's not a Bill.
He's still there.
He's still there. Trey Lance is QB3.
Well, you're telling me Will Grier couldn't beat out Cooper Rush?
I am telling you that.
That's crazy.
That is what I do be telling you. You know who else got cut? They cut Jabril Cox. Another guy we liked.
Well, yeah, but he's injury concerns, and we even listed injury concerns.
We did. Yeah, I listen. This is probably the last time I'm going to even mention Trey Lance on this show. I can't imagine we talk about him again.
Okay. Until Dak gets hurt.
Until Dak gets hurt or plays so poorly that Trey's got to play. Trey Lance is going into Dallas as a reclamation project. They gave up a 4th-round pick for a high-end reclamation project. And that's fine. If I were Dallas, I might have done the same thing. I'll be honest with you. If I were Dallas, I might have thrown a 4 at it as well. Because if you can fix it, right? If you can, I'm not saying they will. If you can fix it, considering the question marks with your current starting quarterback, congratulations. It only cost you a 4 for the X amount of years of Dak and a 4 again to get Trey Lance to carry you into the future. If that's successful, good for Dallas. Legitimately good for Dallas. Now, should I recede back into my Eagles persona?
Sure.
Fuck Dallas, this is never going to work. There's no chance in hell this is going to work. McCarthy's going to get fired at the end of the year. These are actually the things I honestly think. McCarthy's going to get fired at the end of the year. Because this screams we have no faith in our quarterback. You had to do this the week before the season started. Like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like this, you put him on that pedestal the entire summer with this steadfast commitment to him. And all of a sudden, and not even that, I don't know if you caught this. After the trade was cut, Jerry Jones did a tiny little,
Jerry Jones needs to shut up.
You saw did you see what he said? What did he say, team?
What did he say? I have to get the quote out. This is didn't he say it was like a play for the future or something like that?
He said something along the lines of there have been seldom there are opportunities for the Dallas Cowboys to add players at value positions with less valuable picks. And he incited, not calling him by name, but calling him by his professional title, the quarterback up in Philadelphia, claiming that they would have taken him in the 2nd round.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And, this, I got to tell you, first of all, thanks for validating that draft pick at the time, because I wasn't convinced he was going to go in the 2nd. So when the Eagles took him in the 2nd, I was like, oh shit, that seems early. Also, wait, we have Carson Wentz. If only I had fucking known. but if only I had known what that meant. Nothing. But what it means is people around the league valued him in the 2nd round as well. Even if it's Dallas, which is not the most valuable opinion. To say openly, while you still have a very valuable quarterback under contract playing, I'm going to say a very broad top 10 quarterback for you. It's not because Dak's top 10. It's because the rest of the league is not top 15. Dak Prescott is going into a season now having to look over his shoulder because he has an owner that doesn't know when to shut his stupid mouth and a coach that doesn't know how to do his stupid job. And I believe his OC is now Schottenheimer. So I'm sorry. Nothing good is coming from this. I'm very concerned for Dallas if I'm a Dallas fan. Good thing I'm not. So I'm thrilled, personally. The Lance trade, you really think Mike McCarthy's going to have a reclamation effort for Trey Lance?
I mean...
Really? Mike McCarthy's going to develop him? Really? Mike McCarthy?
To be honest, I didn't really see anything there in the first place. I know you saw potential.
I do. I still do.
I straight up just saw a running back. I gotta be honest. His college tape didn't impress me at all. His NFL tape has not impressed me at all. He's still inaccurate. He still looks like he can't handle pressure and is reading the defenses too slow. And frankly, he's played 8 games in 2 years. And then, what, in college he played how many games? Maybe 8 as well? This guy hasn't played football.
He hasn't played enough football. That's not an invalid argument. I've heard that argument from you for a while. You're right. That said, I think what's not being said enough, I moved way too far from the mic on that. I think what's not being said enough in this discussion about whether or not the Cowboys are getting a good deal or if this is a good trade or what, the whole Trey Lance, whatever. Can we stop pretending that the Niners know exactly what they're doing? Because if they're really convinced that Brock Purdy is like the truth at quarterback, like you and I were convinced the guy could play.
No. Chill.
Hold on, listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. Just listen. Stop speaking.
Okay.
I know I talk a lot on this show, but let me get this one out. If they really think Brock Purdy is the truth to that level, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are the luckiest sons of bitches on earth. Because in most other situations, their asses would have been fucking grass. Kyle Shanahan is the most overrated coach in the National Football League. Bar none. Mike McDaniel's a close second. But Kyle Shanahan is definitely the most overrated coach in the NFL. I don't think anybody thinks John Lynch is a good GM, so I can't call him overrated. I think people are aware John Lynch is actually average on his best day. But I don't even think he's that good. The Niners are falling ass backwards into this shit. They're trying to Rams things with a worse QB and a worse defense. Congratulations, you've got great linebackers. It's not 2008. It's just not. The Javon Kinlaw draft trade up to get from like 30 to 60. What a fucking joke.
That has turned into an absolute tragedy.
What a joke. It's almost as bad. Well, no, it's actually worse at this point than the Marcus Davenport situation.
Oh, yeah.
The Saints gave up, I think, off the top of my head, not looking at it, I could be wrong. I think they gave up more for Davenport, but they got more out of him. Mm-hmm. Not enough. Not nearly enough.
Kinlaw's just a bust right now.
Kinlaw's a bust
and
so far.
DeForest Buckner is still DeForest Buckner.
Yeah! DeForest Buckner's still good. He just plays for the Colts.
Isn't it crazy? By the way, I'm bringing this up because of a rumor that's come out recently.
They also haven't paid Nick Bosa yet, have they?
That's the rumor.
What's the rumor?
So let's think about this, right? You have an elite defensive lineman at defensive tackle, which honestly, at this point, might start becoming more valuable than edge. And you have an elite defensive tackle, you have an elite edge rusher, and you just think, nah, I can do it again. I can do it again. You just throw away a young elite player, and now Nick Bosa is not happy with his contract. It's not happy with what's being offered. And there's a rumor out that the Niners are trying to trade him to an AFC team.
The Chiefs?
No. A non-competitive. They don't want to give the Chiefs Bosa. They want to give a bad team Bosa, like Houston.
Well, let's see.
Because think about it.
Yeah, they're not.
No. Like let's actually examine the Houston connection because DeMeco Ryans is now the coach.
Please, yeah, of course. I'm gonna eviscerate the connection in 1 second. Okay. Go ahead.
DeMeco Ryans is now the coach. They're obviously trying to rebuild the defense in Houston. They just spent a first-round pick on an edge rusher that, frankly, I don't really like out of Alabama.
Right.
Why not get Bosa?
Because they don't have the draft capital to do it. Next. They gave it all to Arizona. Try again. You forgot about that, didn't you?
I don't know. I just didn't really care.
How about get Will Anderson a team?
I didn't really care. It's more of like
all these draft picks, get the fuck out.
No, it's like you'll give them a 2 this year and then the 1s the following year. They'll
San Fran says no. San Fran says no to that. Try again.
Okay, other AFC. What is the AFC? Because the Niners are 6,000 over the cap already for next year.
$6,000.
$6 million over the cap. Sorry.
I was like, well, man, shit. How they figure that one out?
Listen, $6,000 is a lot of money for me.
Yeah, but not for the Niners. The $6,000 over the cap. Damn.
It's almost.
What a shame.
It's almost like $10,000 forgiven is not that much in the grand scheme of things.
Bird. Sick political bird. It's too woke, Ibteen.
It's too woke.
Too woke. I'm kidding. We're very woke up in here. Or if you want to call us woke, please do. It's a compliment, you fascists.
All right. The New England Patriots will have plenty of cap space. Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans, which we're just rejecting. The Colts. And if you want to include,
Did
NFC
you really just say the Colts?
I mean, it's happened once.
Did you really just say the Colts?
Can you imagine if you had
You think John Lynch is that stupid?
Could you imagine if you had DeForest Buckner and Bosa? Could you imagine?
Mind-boggling. Way better than Eric Armstead, both of them.
If you include NFC teams, the Chicago Bears, Arizona Cardinals, which isn't happening, obviously.
Nope.
Washington Commanders, Carolina Panthers, and the Rams, which obviously aren't happening. But there are about 10 teams here that could make a Nick Bosa trade and sign to a league-leading contract happen.
Listen, 31 teams in this league would make a trade to get him. I mean, it's just facts. All things being equal, no. I
just scrolled down. I'm shocked every year when I look at the Saints.
I know. Oh, financially, yeah.
The Saints.
Yeah. What is it? 89.
The Saints are currently $77 million over the cap. The Cleveland Browns are currently $73 million over the cap.
Over next year's cap.
Yeah,
over next year's
cap. The Los Angeles Chargers are currently $62 million over next year's cap. The Denver Broncos are at 33. Miami Dolphins, 33. Buffalo Bills, 32. Dallas Cowboys, 17.
Woo!
There might be a lot of talent, actually, next year's free agency and trade market.
Next year's free agent pool and trade market is going to be sick. Next year's going to be a fun year. That's going to be as sick as I am right now. Anyway.
Let's talk about this year.
Let's talk about this year. The Niners are a joke anyway, even though we have them, whatever, fine. We'll talk about them when we get there. Let's talk about but we're going to go division by division, team by team. If you guys have been here, you guys know the drill. This is how we do it every year. We pick a division that we think is bad, and we go from there. And this year, we've decided to start with the NFC South. Because holy shnikes, that's a nightmare.
Yep.
There are a combined 21 wins in this division. That's very low among 4 teams. That is bad. That is an average of 5.25 a team, I think. Right?
You did the math?
Am I right?
I don't know. You're the one with the math.
I'm bad at math. I'm going to go with them right. Let's put it this way. It's bad, all right? It's really, really fucking bad.
You got it right.
You don't want to... Fuck yeah!
You're good at math.
Anyway, it's bad. You don't want to have 5 wins a team. That said, 3 teams have 5 wins or less. And let's start with who I think we give the number 1 pick to. Am I right?
No, we don't. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're seated that way.
No, you have to update it. Remember?
Oh, the update. You're right. We updated it briefly. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Tampa
What's
Bay
the record,
Buccaneers will end up with, I believe, the second pick in the draft at 3-14. That doesn't sound like Drake May to you? Then I'm asking, why not? Drake May feels like a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he's just Baker Mayfield. You know, I wish I felt a little better about Tampa
Okay.
as like a team franchise, but I don't. Todd Bowles. How quick does Todd Bowles get fired?
Well, looking at our predictions, let me tell you, it's happening fast.
Middle of the third quarter, week 1.
Okay, so their bye week is week 5, which honestly for firing Todd Bowles kind of sucks. But we don't have them winning a game until week 7 against the Atlanta Falcons. And then we have them losing until week 12.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone by week 6. Then they'll start 0-6. He'll be gone.
Yeah. What's What's the positives for the Buccaneers? Are there any?
They still have Godwin and Evans.
Yeah, they're just going to be 1 year older.
It's not a good thing. I mean, it's bad. You don't want to, you just don't want to have to do that.
Speaking of players that might be traded this year,
Evans or Godwin.
Yeah,
either one. Is Leonard Fournette unemployed?
He should be.
Yeah, I think he is. Hey, Jonathan, you're not getting paid. It's not going to happen.
Leonard Fournette is actually unemployed, and there are news articles about, hey, maybe the Colts should sign Leonard Fournette. Let's move on. Staying with the third team in this division, the Carolina Panthers.
We're at tissue number 20.
Okay. The Carolina
Michael
Panthers,
Jordan.
Bryce Young's first season, we have it going 5-12. Honestly, could have been worse.
Fine.
Yeah, could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably survive.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the key. He has to survive.
The Atlanta Falcons, winners of the Bijan Robinson sweepstakes, John. They also go 5-12.
Yeah, now here's the tricky part about this. Now, every year I know you guys expect that we'll just be on the bandwagon for Atlanta after that magical 12-5 selection we made 2 years ago. And no, this is a much different team. My goodness, they suck ass. This might be the second most devoid of talent roster in the NFL.
I don't know about
third.
that.
Third. Third.
Because we're going to get to some really devoided rosters soon.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that division next.
So Desmond Ridder, Bijan Robinson, what else? Cordell Patterson.
Drake London,
who, if you remember, we both hated.
That is not past tense.
I can see the Atlanta Falcons moving in for a quarterback. Maybe try to get ahead of someone, but in this scenario, we got Tampa Bay beating them to it.
Probably should have done it already.
Oh, yeah.
Did they draft one? Why do I feel like they drafted one?
I don't think they did. They just drafted Desmond Ridder. Like 2 years ago, right?
Yes.
While you look that up, the winner of the division at 8-9 will be the New Orleans Saints.
They didn't draft one. They signed Taylor Heineke. All right, that's 3 more wins. Kidding.
And anyways, New Orleans Saints win the division at 8-9.
Woo!
We don't really like the Saints roster. We just...
No, you do.
No. I'm rooting for the Saints. I don't think they have a good team.
He just can't let it go.
I'm rooting for them. I don't think they're going to win anything.
He can't let Captain Mascara go. You have to let him go.
NFC West?
He is free now. He is free of PF Chang's. Remember that nonsense you used to believe where he was like, no, he'd rather retire than not be a Raider. Yeah, remember that? Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Anyway, all right. What's the next division?
We're going to talk about the NFC West.
Oh, yeah, by the way, if that wasn't clear enough, that's the 4 seed. It's not... 8 and 9 isn't exactly a bye week.
The NFC West are going to have two of the worst rosters in the NFL in the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. Who's worse, John?
Arizona.
By choice.
By choice.
We have the Cardinals, who are not being led by Kyler Murray. He's on the PUP.
Or Colt McCoy, apparently.
We have them going 2-15.
Yeah.
That sounds planned, to be honest.
The Cardinals traded for Josh Dobbs. Just reporting it. Yeah, and there was no punchline. Just letting you know.
We have
good for the Niners.
We have the Cardinals beating the Falcons and the Rams. And why do we have them beating the Rams? Because we think the Rams are going to try so hard to lose that game.
The problem with the Rams is that there's a quarterback coming out this year by the name of Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams is really good. Caleb Williams goes to USC.
Yeah.
USC is in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is where the Rams play. The Rams need a quarterback because Matthew Stafford apparently can't connect with his 25-year-old teammates because he's an old guy and his wife wants to complain about it on the radio. But the Rams are not going to get it without either Divine or Goodell intervention.
I think it's Goodell intervention. We've already talked about my conspiracy theories.
There are several conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Several conspiracy theories floating around regarding the Caleb Williams to LA thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't refute them.
Follow the money. Follow the money.
Yeah, it makes the most sense, right? Like, it makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, you have to actually lose the games for it to happen.
We have the Los Angeles Rams going 3-14.
Now, that's losing a lot of games.
We have them beating the Seattle Seahawks by mistake on Week 11. And we also have them... Damn, I'm looking for the other game, and it's kind of hard to find. We have them beating the Green Bay Packers in Week 9. Jordan Love throws a pick six. Game's over. Everyone's crying in the LA.
Yeah, one pick six. He's going to throw one pick six.
And then we also have them beating the Cardinals in Week 6 when they still kind of believe. The players still kind of think maybe we can turn this around.
Well, let's call a spade here.
Yeah.
They're that good. They've won that X amount of games purely because Aaron Donald still exists.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp still exists. They still have two of the league's best players at their respective positions. The problem is everything else around it is really bad. Like, really bad. Including the coach, who kind of doesn't want to be there. So, he'd rather be on TV. That doesn't happen yet. And
it'll probably happen at the end of this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This Ram thing is going to end quickly. They may leave LA. No, they're not going to leave LA. I'm just saying they're not going anywhere. But I'm saying they're going to be bad for a little bit soon. The regime is going to have to change because McVay is not going to be head. I don't think the 15-year head coach is a thing anymore. Like, I think it's pretty much done.
Mm.
Like, you're seeing all these successful coaches that are like young, short tenured dudes, other than like Andy Reid. Like Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Belichick. I didn't forget Belichick. He just hasn't been that successful recently. Belichick. I mean, who else? Who else is old? Peyton's year one.
Yeah. Peyton with the Saints, year one now.
Yeah.
Whoever the
It's
Bengals head coach, which still remains to be on
Marvin
the
Lewis?
Yeah. No. I'm talking about
No, Zach Taylor.
Yeah, Zach Taylor. I honestly cannot believe Zach Taylor has made it through this long. I understand the Bengals are a lot better, but there were a lot of times early on where I'm like, this team could be so much better without Taylor.
I don't think anybody thinks the Bengals are good because of their coach.
Yeah.
I don't think the players think they're good because of their coach. You know what's really funny about the Bengals, though? It's going to be this way until the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals are really, really good, and they would still be both better and worse with Penei Sewell. They would still be both better and worse with him in the building. I don't know. I'm just saying.
All right, let's talk about
I think Lyle Collins is also pumped, by the way. So the boy is at least a little bit not protected. Again.
Right on a t-shirt.
We're going to sell that t-shirt. Protect the boy. Hashtag protect the boy.
Let's talk about playoff teams, finally.
Ugh.
The San Francisco 49ers
Boring.
and the Seattle Seahawks are left over. They're both making the playoffs. One of them at wild card and one of them winning the division. What's the difference?
Seattle wins the division.
11-6 with a 5-1 division record, and the Niners 11-6 with a 4-2 division record.
Win! It's okay. You'll win the wild card round.
Well, they might not.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I think we projected them to.
Yeah.
We're not going to do. We did like all the way through the Super Bowl thing. We're not.
Yeah,
divulging
we did that
here.
for fun.
That was for fun. We picked. Full disclosure, I think we picked the Eagles, but it was also, I think, part like it. There's. I'll be honest. I think we just don't respect the NFC.
No. It's two things. It's two things. One, let's be honest with ourselves. Everyone knows it. NFC's bad.
Yeah, there's 1.5 really good teams in the NFC.
Yeah. And then, is anyone else a little tired about the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl? Just me? Am I the only one that's tired about the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl?
They've won two.
Too many, John.
They've been to a few.
Yeah. Anyone else kind of hoping someone else makes it to the Super Bowl? No, just me. They're gonna make it back to the Super Bowl.
On paper, there is very little reason, and this is a little spoilery for the NFC East, but there's very little reason to think that it won't be the Eagles and Chiefs again.
Mm-hmm.
If not Eagles and Bengals, if not Niners and Bengals, if not Niners and Chiefs.
Yeah, and Bills exist there too.
Bills are like the outlier.
Yeah.
Like and we have. I mean, we'll get to the AFC in a moment, but there's just something about that group of 5 teams. It might just be most of them have a quarterback, and the Niners are well balanced, but poorly coached. So I don't know. We'll get to that, but we have the Niners not winning this division purely on their record, and Seattle is perennially slept on. And I refuse to. I've woken up. I think it's time to wake up to Seattle's existence. They're real. They're very legitimate, perfectly legitimate.
And Seattle has done a lot in the draft that we liked. Like a lot of like our guys are Seattle Seahawks. Most famous being Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
I think
Devin Witherspoon's one of my guys.
I think something that it's just a gut feeling. I think the 49ers are in for a down year. I know we have them going to the playoffs at 11-6. I think they lose the wild card round. I gotta be honest with you.
Who?
The Niners. And
Probably.
I don't think the Niners are an 11-6 team. I think the NFC is letting the Niners be an 11-6 team. The offensive line's in shambles. There's no depth behind it.
Are we supposed to pretend that linebacking is that valuable in the year of our Lord 2023? Like, are we supposed to pretend like that's a big deal?
No, linebackers are the running backs of the defense.
Fred Warner is a great player. Like, there's no questioning that. Fred Warner is an amazing football player. But who gives a shit? Honestly, who cares? They don't have a secondary worth a damn. Their O-line's in disarray, and they're going to trot Brock Purdy out there like he's our Lord and Savior. Listen, you and I liked Brock Purdy. We didn't like him this much. This is absurd. Listen, if he goes in and lights up the league this year, first of all, we're going to look like gods. But I'm also going to be a little irritated because it's not supposed to be that easy. It's fine. It happens. I'm not going to, cry in my beer over it. It is what it is. Good for the Niners. But he better be. The fact that Sam Darnold is the backup quarterback on that team is further evidence that they're not sure what they're doing.
The fact that Trey Lance lost to Sam Darnold.
How did Trey Lance lose the job to Sam Darnold? How is that possible? Is Lance that bad?
Lance is exactly what he was when he was drafted. That's the problem.
Then the answer is no, he's not that bad, team. Like, that's the answer. If the answer is he's exactly the same, okay. I know what Sam Darnold is. Bad. He's very bad. I feel like I'm using very small words tonight to articulate my points. It's not because of the congestion. It's just because it's that simple. Sam Darnold, bad at football. Backup quarterback to a contender. After their fans bitched and moaned for months about, oh, Purdy got hurt. Oh, Josh Johnson got hurt. This guy got hurt. Block! Fucking block! Like, this is not difficult. Block! Loses Mike McGlinchey. Okay, that's going to make it harder.
No, that's going to make it better.
No, I know you and I both think he's not that good, but we did this already. You and I had this conversation off mic. Who they have now is not better. Like, it's just not. So, while Mike McGlinchey is a question mark in Denver
God bless.
You're going to have fun. You're going to have fun. Crosby comes over the right tackle, right? You're going to have so much fucking fun, it's insane.
I'm telling you.
Because
they're going to win more games than I want them to.
He does so poorly with speed rushers. It's nuts. And Crosby is a mauler with gas. He's not Hassan Reddick's speed, but Reddick put him in a blender and ate him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the NFC Championship game. It was abusive what Hassan Reddick did to him. It was a masterclass in essentially just telling the guy, you are nothing. I am so much better than you, it's absurd.
You should not be on the field right now.
Hassan, every snap, Reddick had time to look him in the face, say, you do not belong here, and then go get the sack. He had that amount of time. That's how fast it happened.
All right, enough about the Niners. Let's talk about Seattle. Geno Smith.
I'm so annoyed by that stupid ass friend. And Brandon Ayuk chirping. Ayuk, focus on your own shit. You're not
good enough to chirp.
Ayuk talks so much shit for a dude like 400 yards. Who the fuck are you? Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, okay. I'm going to pull up his actual stat line because I'm going to make sure we get this shit right. Good for him. He caught 1,000 last year on 78. Good for him. I bet you it's going way down. Way down. I got him sub 800 this coming year.
That sucks because I drafted him.
Bad. I thought it was a bad decision. Remember when what was it? Kyle Shanahan was like, he needs to prove himself. And then they did nothing for him, but he had like a couple of decent games. They're like, that's enough. Like that. It's okay, great, good for you. Kyle Shanahan falls ass backwards into players so often. It's absurd. He just falls ass backwards into these players. Good. And they're crying about the fact they can't win the Super Bowl. They haven't won the Super Bowl. You lost to the Chiefs. Shanahan, you blew it against the Chiefs. You were up 10 and you blew it.
I've noticed.
Shanahan was up 25 against the Falcons. He blew that one. Against the Patriots, he blew that one. Maybe Shanahan's just not that good. It's possible. Nepotism's a thing. And sometimes sons of good coaches get the job purely because they're the sons of a good coach. Mike Shanahan was a good football coach. Kyle?
He's above average.
What?
Kyle Shanahan's above average.
What does that mean? What number is above average? Where's your cutoff? Who's an average coach? That's my question.
Who's the most average coach?
Zach fucking Taylor.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor's the most average coach.
That's an Av, right? So we'll do this again, and we've done this before, but we haven't done it recently. And we'll stop talking about the Niners after this because we got other teams to get to. I get that. Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
Better. Bill Belichick. I know you're frustrated with the Patriots right now. He's still a better coach. This isn't even debatable. Sean Payton, probably. I'm not even going to give Sean Payton that right now, but probably. Pete Carroll, definitely.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh, definitely.
Definitely. Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin, definitely.
Doug Peterson.
Brian Dable,
Brian Dable,
definitely. Yeah. Brian Dable, definitely. Doug Peterson, definitely. That's 7 for sure that are better coaches than Kyle Shanahan. For sure. They're better than him by a mile. Now, you and I question Sean McVay. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
He's not a definite, but I think it's a question. I think you could call him better than Shanahan.
I mean, he's won a Super Bowl.
He has. I think you could call Nick Sirianni comparable to Shanahan.
Yeah.
I would do that.
I like Mike Vrabel. I do like Mike Vrabel.
I was about to say Mike
Yeah.
Vrabel. Mike Vrabel could definitely be considered better.
I'm forgetting the Bills head coach's last name, but it's Sean something, right?
Sean McDermott, is definitely better.
I think Sean McDermott's overrated.
I know you do, and I agree he probably is, but he's better than Shanahan. There are at least 10 that are definitely better than Kyle Shanahan. At least 10. We can take off Tomlin, and he's still number 10.
Why would we take away Tomlin?
There's a lot of people that don't think Tomlin's that good a coach. Myself included, but I don't think I recognize the value of Mike Tomlin, which is what makes him a better coach.
I would kill that.
The point is, I know you would. I know you would.
I would kill so many people to have Mike Tomlin.
I mean, who else is in this league right now? Houston? No. Jacksonville? We already did it. Colts? No. But Shane Steichen has a lot of promise. Check in 2 years.
Josh
I mean,
McDaniels.
there's no one else. No. He's my worst.
LaFleur? He goes up and down.
No. Shanahan's better than Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Shanahan's better than Matt LaFleur. Shanahan's better than Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably better than Matty Eberflus. We'll see what happens in Chicago this year. He's definitely better than Jonathan Gannon.
Definitely better than Rivera.
He's probably better than Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera's Carolina tenure was good.
Yeah.
It was a very good tenure. He was a good coach in Carolina. And Washington was better last year than they had any business being.
Stefanski is a joke.
Stefanski, I don't know what Stefanski is yet. Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota might be a better coach than you and I thought he was going to be.
Kevin O'Connell might, honestly, might be one of our biggest mistakes when it comes to coaches.
I think it was just mainly because
he had no experience.
We still weren't done with Bieniemy. Like, we still were like, why does Eric Bieniemy not have a job?
No, it's not even that.
Why Bieniemy doesn't have a job.
It's not even that. O'Connell literally had no experience before becoming a head coach.
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's better than Mike McCarthy. Woo! Mike McDaniel? Parallel. They're parallel. They're both overrated, older people. Robert Saleh, depending on how the Jets play this year, might be a better coach than Kyle Shanahan.
Let's move on. Let's finish up the NFC.
Let's go to the North.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We still got 2 divisions.
We skipped the North.
Okay, let's do
the North.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the North quickly, though.
Yeah. The North is actually a fun division. There's a lot
balanced.
There's a lot of stuff up in the air. Will Justin Fields improve? Will Jordan Love fill any shoe that has been left by Aaron Rodgers? Are the Vikings going to continue to be mediocre frauds? And are the Lions going to fulfill the promise that this offseason has brought them? Well, the Green Bay Packers are going to end up last in the division.
Yeah.
At 8-9.
Now,
that's respectable, honestly.
Yeah, on that alone, that's deserving of a little bit of praise. Honestly. Like, that's not a fireable record for Matt LaFleur.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
That's not fireable. That's not disappointing. That's not, I mean, yeah, obviously you're going to be annoyed as a Packers fan. Oh, shit, we didn't make the playoffs, whatever. But if you're 8-9, it means your quarterback played at least competently and you just need talent.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it probably means. Or your competent played incompetently and you have so much talent you just need a quarterback. Either way, it's not a bad problem to have going into an offseason where there's expected to be much talent.
At wide receiver, Christian Watson's not ready to really step in to be like better than just the fact that he's a wide receiver one because there's no one else on the roster. Like who's gonna beat him out? Romeo Doubs?
He's WR1 de facto, but not for any reason.
The Packers still have two good running backs. They still have Jair Alexander on defense. This is a team that honestly they might not sound like they're going for a rebuild, but it's kind of like a retooling. And if Jordan Love works out, I think we can see a pretty rapid back to the playoffs for the Packers, within 2 years.
Sure.
The Chicago Bears eke out third in the division at 9-8.
Yeah, here's the problem with the Bears. We just don't believe in them.
I mean, they got better. They got a lot better.
Yes, they got better.
Yeah.
They improved greatly. That's it.
I liked Justin Fields coming out. I liked him a lot more than John.
Did.
I liked him a lot more than John.
Yeah, you did.
I think he'll play better. I don't think he'll play good enough for them to make the playoffs. I still think his throwing mechanics. This kid reminds me of Lamar Jackson, but he's nowhere near as talented as Lamar Jackson.
He is diet Lamar. He's Lamar Jackson 0.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson 0 sugar. This is not. I already don't want to have Lamar Jackson as my quarterback.
Yeah.
Why would I want Dollar Tree Jackson? This is not the guy I want. This is discount Lamar Jackson.
Also, I don't really like the Chicago Bears coaching. I don't really have a lot of faith in Matt Eberflus.
I don't know what to make of Matt Eberflus yet. I'll be honest, I don't know what to make of Justin Fields yet either, because I'm not sure if it's a quarterback or not. He's a modern quarterback. More and more quarterbacks are throwing the ball less.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not throwing it at all. So there is a difference between throwing it less and not.
I think they'll be better if Fields really takes a lot of steps this year. Then we can see the Bears make the playoffs the following year. But I think we're at a 1 year too soon type situation going on right now.
He's going to take a ton of steps, I'm sure of that, because he's certainly not going to throw, so he's going to have to run.
Second place in the division, making the wild card, we have the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes. Now, before the inevitable chastising of picking Detroit number 1, shut up. That is all. Minnesota in second.
11-6.
Good job. 2-4 in the division now, and it's purely because I think the Lions. I think we had the Lions beat them twice.
Yeah.
And I think we had Minnesota split the other two.
We had the Lions. Basically, we had the Lions and Minnesota playing for the division, and you just know that's a Sunday night game. And you look
Sunday night.
You look at who's the quarterback on the Vikings on Sunday night national television, and you tell me the Vikings are going to win that.
Now, what's funny is that game, the winner, if the Lions win it, they play that game again the following week in Detroit.
Yeah. It's a huge game.
They play massive game. If they lose that game, I think we had some math done. If they lose that game, they're out.
Let me check right now. They are not out, but they will be the 7th seed.
They go down to 7. Okay. Yeah. I thought we had math at one point where Dallas moved up in the standings to a degree that flipped Detroit into a weird spot.
No, Dallas is kind of screwed no matter what when it comes. Spoilers.
Yeah, this is an interesting. We'll get to the East in a second. Detroit and Minnesota are going to be fighting to the death in the final week of the season. Detroit in prime time versus Kirk Cousins in prime time. Kirk Cousins in prime time does not invoke confidence.
Just remember how Kirk Cousins' season ended last year in prime time with Netflix.
You like that?
With Netflix watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have faith in it.
I still haven't watched it.
I'm not going to watch it.
Me neither.
I've
heard the Marcus Mariota stuff is like depressing.
It has nothing to do with Netflix and their ridiculous sharing ideas now.
Password sharing.
Yeah, password sharing bullshit. Let's just call it as is. Netflix, you're fucking bullshit. Don't bleep that out, Chris.
Bleep it out.
But yeah, we have the Lions at 11-6 with a 4-2 division record winning that division. Let's move on to the best division in the NFC.
Let's do it. The Commanders are in 5-11. They're in fourth.
No, the Commanders are 7-10.
6-11. Sorry.
7-10.
Oh, 7-10.
Remember, because it's been updated. Yeah.
The Cardinals got updated. Yeah, 7-10. Okay.
Sam Howell's the quarterback.
That's why they're 7-10.
This is a better record than I would have Sam Howell at.
Yeah, I have a sick feeling about the Commanders that they may even be better than this.
You disgust me.
Well coached, well manned. I have to sneeze. Keep talking.
Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, who we loved coming out.
McLaurin is starting the year a little banged up, though.
Yeah, turf toe. But if you remember, Sam Howell is probably my lowest rated quarterback who's expected to go in the first couple of rounds.
No, you hated the guy.
In the history of our show.
You hated the guy. You had the lowest ranking you've ever given a quarterback.
Yeah. He's starting.
He is. And Ron Rivera said something along the lines of we didn't know how good Sam Howell was until he finished last season. Great. You probably should have. If you'd scouted well. You should probably know how good he is.
And their backup is Jacoby Brissett. In my opinion, Jacoby Brissett's taking over this team very quickly.
We'll see if and when that happens. Yeah. Speaking of a team that could use Jacoby Brissett.
Really? Okay. The Dallas Cowboys.
At 10-7.
The Dallas Cowboys at 10-7 miss the playoffs.
They do.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who have a lot of hype for the Cowboys. I don't see it.
We don't.
I really don't see it. I think they paid a lot of money for a corner who can't play corner. I think Michael Parsons is elite and is carrying a Cowboys defense like no tomorrow.
I can't wait for him to come back to Philly. Can't wait.
I don't have a lot of faith in Dak Prescott. Don't have a lot of faith in Michael Gallup.
It would seem the Cowboys don't have a lot of faith in Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Have even less faith in Trey Lance. I still like CeeDee Lamb.
Again, it doesn't feel like they have a lot of faith in him either if they're going to make him the third QB behind Cooper Rush.
Yeah. I think Cowboys...
Jerry Jones is the human embodiment of the phrase, just give me a reason. Just give me any reason at all. And I'll do it.
We have the Cowboys missing the playoffs by one game to the New York Giants.
The New York Giants.
11-6. I cannot believe Daniel Jones is on an 11-6 team. But Brian Daboll, you are incredible.
Here at Next Man Up, we value coaching.
Yeah.
And
it might not look like it, considering my coaches.
We don't get to make those choices. But here at Next Man Up, we value coaching. Brian Daboll is good at that. Really good at that. However, as good as he is at coaching, their GM doesn't seem to be as good at valuing Daniel Jones. I guess you had to. I wouldn't have. I don't know what my exact alternative would have been in that moment. It probably wouldn't have been $40 million to that guy, but I guess you had to, right? You had to do it. Y'all are dumb. But anyway, Giants 11-6. They're on the rise. They're going to be good this year, and the NFL as an entity is a better product when the Giants are good. That's just a fact. So the NFL is happy about this. Generally, if the NFL likes you, you're eventually going to be okay. It's like in baseball. If the Yankees suck for too long, things are just not as fun.
So you're telling me I'm hated?
I mean, yeah, but that's not why you're bad. You're bad because of yourselves. It's exclusively your fault. Not you and team, you, the Raiders. It is the Raiders' fault that the Raiders are bad.
Did I ever send you that meme from Interstellar with him looking at his past self and screaming, "Don't do it, don't do it," and like the caption is me picking my teams years ago.
You have, but honestly, I don't think you've ever explained the meme to me, and I've never seen Interstellar, so it's possible it just went right over my head. Because I didn't really watch much Christopher Nolan. I mean, I seen Dark, the Batman trilogy he did, but I hadn't watched a whole lot of Nolan until I saw Inception and Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I mean, you know who Nolan is at that point.
Okay, so I know I hate him.
All right.
Yeah, Inception was good, and I'm going to say something gets me canceled on the internet. I think Oppenheimer was just okay.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't a bad movie at all. Perfectly followable. 30 minutes too long, no question about it.
Have you seen the Barbie movie?
Yes.
Which one's better?
Oppenheimer's the better movie. Barbie was way more fun, though. Like, I left the Barbie movie having enjoyed my time in the Barbie movie way more.
Okay.
Like, I left Oppenheimer trying to analyze it from this, because you're going in with different expectations, right? You walk in the Barbie movie, you're like, this is going to be very stupid, but I'm going to have a fun time.
Well, while we're talking about movies, I just want to talk about how disappointed I am that Dune got moved to March of next year.
Pay the writers. Now.
Pay the writers. But the movie's done. Why are we moving it?
Because there's a lot of reasons. We'll talk about that somewhere else. But
okay.
It's pay the writers. You have to pay your people.
Pay the writers and don't cut your trees for no reason other than to roast them alive.
Thankfully, in LA, tomorrow is one more day over 90 degrees. After that, it's going to drop down a bit. Okay. Thankfully.
Philadelphia Eagles win the division and get the number 1 seed in the NFC at 13-4. Who's shocked? Who's surprised?
Guys, that's fine if you want to grill it as being a homer bias or whatever. You can do that all you want. I don't give a crap. If you can tell me there's a team in the NFC definitely better than the Eagles, and you can convince me of that, this is the first time in my life I've legitimately thought the Eagles are the best team on paper in the National Football League, bar none.
I mean, we still have them winning the NFC even if they go to 12 wins. If they go to 11, they're still in the playoffs and a top seed.
You know what's funny? Every single team in the playoffs except for the Eagles and Saints are 11-6.
Yeah.
The Eagles are 13-4 and the Saints are 8-9. Every other NFC team, every other division winner, every other wildcard team, 11-6. They are all shuffling on tiebreaker. That's where we have it. The schedule breaks the way the schedule breaks. We didn't have a single team sweep their division. This is a prediction based on the idea that if any team is going to break the NFC East curse, it's this year's Eagles team. You have got so many veteran O-linemen actively verbalizing how afraid of Jalen Carter they are because he's demolishing practices. You didn't hear this last year about Jordan Davis. There is a better the best defensive tackle on the Philadelphia Eagles very well may have yet to step on a regular season NFL field.
All right, we're taking too long. Let's move on to the AFC.
Let's do it.
We're going to start with the AFC South and the worst team in the AFC. The CJ Stroud-led Houston Texans, 4-13. This is more of just...
I have faith.
There's not a lot of talent here.
I have faith in DeMeco Ryans as a head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I do. But not yet.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a year before we start seeing like really like strong strides in the right direction. I think you're going to see moments where the Texans and CJ Stroud are going to look impressive, and then you're going to see some really bad moments because of a lack of talent.
Yeah. Although let's throw mad props to Houston real quick. John Mechie's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
What a win!
Oh yeah.
What a human win. For those that don't know, John Mechie was a wide receiver they took in the second round last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Diagnosed with, I forget what it was, but it was cancer.
It was cancer.
He had some level of cancer. I forget exactly what type. But couldn't play all last year, naturally. And I don't know if he's in remission or if he's cancer free, but he good. That's a win. We take those. Hell yeah, John Mechie. Hell fucking yeah. For John Mechie.
John Mechie battled leukemia along with a torn ACL.
Yeah, the first one's worse.
Yeah. And I don't know if we have like exactly what he is, but he has finished his cancer treatment.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Hell yeah.
Either
way,
yeah.
Just not enough talent in Houston this year. Just not enough. There's a lot of things to be happy about with the Houston Texans, but winning a Super Bowl was not in your immediate future. You're not there.
Speaking of a lack of talent, the Indianapolis Colts will be 5-12. That might go down.
There is one thing to pay attention to with the Colts this year. Only one. It's the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's nothing else to even consider if you're watching the Colts this year. Watch the coach and the quarterback. That's it. That's it. If AR makes strides as a potential franchise QB, good. Go from there. But what's funny is that unless the quarterback was Peyton Manning, the Colts have only won 4 playoff games as long as Irsay has owned the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good showing. It's a really bad showing. And I don't feel good about that if I'm, a Colts fan. I'm not thrilled. So that's how that goes.
The Tennessee Titans will place second in the division and just barely miss the playoffs at 9-8 with a 3-3 divisional record. The Titans are in transition, and they need a quarterback badly to replace Tannehill, and they've swung and missed twice already. I know Will Levis hasn't played yet, but they've missed on Will Levis, and they missed on Malik Willis. We all called that. One more year of Derrick Henry. Another year older.
The Titans need to have what's called a come to Jesus moment. They've got to have this come to Jesus moment where they just understand that the path they're following is not the right one. They have the right coach. I am sure Mike Vrabel can win a Super Bowl with this team. I'm sure of it. But it has to be done the right way. And as long as he's been there, it hasn't been. It's not necessarily his fault. You can point at the general management at the time, point at the front office stuff. He's been there, 5 years? Almost 6, I think?
Yeah.
He's been there a few now. He's had a lot of success with a less than perfect roster. He's had a lot of success with Ryan Tannehill as his quarterback.
Which is kind of crazy.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tannehill is still an everyday starting quarterback in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when Matt Hasselbeck, when everyone thought Matt Hasselbeck was like a top-end QB. It's the same principle. He wasn't a top-end QB. He was good for a few years. That's it. In Seattle. They had a fun time. And then they signed Matt Flynn and fell ass backwards into Russell Wilson.
And
backwards.
And you know what? Fell ass backwards to Geno Smith. Winning the division and our 4th seed at 12-5 is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Woo! Best coach team in the division. Probably the best quarterback in the division.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Invested in their line, invested in the receivers. Calvin Ridley's back from his gambling suspension. I'm not sold on that yet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. A year off is a year off. It's a long time.
I mean, even if he's not good, they still have a decent wide receiver core.
They do. They still have a good crop of targets.
Maybe Travis Etienne will have more role in the offense this year.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the Jags can do. It's amazing. I can't believe how we've kind of like spoken the Jags into existence, because when they hired Urban, you and I were both like, well, that's insane. That's an absurdly stupid choice. And then they fired him because duh. And then we said they should have fired Trent Baalke. They didn't, which was dumb. They should have drafted.
Look who they drafted.
They should have drafted Aiden. They didn't, which was dumb. But
not only was it dumb, it was super predictable. Like we had it locked. Yeah.
You also basically had to say they gotta hire Doug Peterson. That's the guy you need for this quarterback. Sure enough, he comes in, playoffs year one. It was sloppy, but you got there. You threw 4 picks and you won the game. Yeah, it's because the Chargers suck, but it's because the Chargers are very poorly coached. But you still threw 4 picks and won the game. That's a coaching win. That's a coaching win. I'm sorry. That is ballsy. And I will not forget that. Doug Peterson's got a sack, man.
All right. AFC North. The Cleveland Browns will get 4th place in division at 6-11. Fire Stefanski.
The worst team money can buy.
And continue to make poor financial and ethical decisions with their quarterback room.
Deshaun Watson, I'm only going to talk about Watson right now from a football level. Mm. I don't buy it anymore.
I didn't buy it when they paid him. I told you he's been away for too long.
So that's not even what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's not even what I'm saying. I agree with you. Like, you're right. I agree it was a dumb thing when they paid him. We're talking only football on this, right?
Yeah.
It was not a smart contract. I agree.
Also, we can clearly ignore the, outside, very loud, very numerous
I understand.
accusations.
Fair enough. But however,
just as a football player,
just on football,
if you don't play football, you're probably bad at football.
Yeah, I think we're learning a thing about Ebteen in real time. Ebteen's big on service time. If you're off the field, Ebteen doesn't like you.
Trey Lance
to actually play.
Trey Lance played 8 games in 2 years.
Trey Lance just put on a helmet and stood there. That is not football. Fair enough. I agree with you. And this is, I agree with that perspective on the Jonathan Taylor thing. Wait. He's not going to play.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
And Deshaun Watson's a football player, right? Went 4-12 the year before he disappeared for unknown, numerous, loud reasons. He wasn't that great of a quarterback.
Yeah, unknown but incredibly loud. Yeah. Unknown but boisterously voluminous.
Something Big Ben did twice.
Oh, God. All of this is alleged. That's my disclaimer. Anyway, the Browns still don't have the talent around that. I in 2023, it confuses me the fiasco that is Amari Cooper's career. Like, a player that good being on his 3rd team, it is bizarre. Maybe he's just, I don't know, not that good. Although numerically he's quite good. But Myles Garrett's an unbelievable pass rusher. Denzel Ward's a top 10 corner, top 8.
Isn't it weird to call him a top 10 corner, though?
It feels that way. But he is.
Yeah, we're kind of in a bad corner era right now.
Ward's not, no, I'm going to resent that. Ward's a good player. Like, this is not a question. Ward's a good player.
But he's not an elite player.
Nah, Sure, fine. But can you name me 5 better?
Trey White's too injured to care anymore.
Tre'Davious White is too hurt. I can't even lean on that anymore.
Sauce Gardner.
Sure, I'll give you Sauce. I'll give you Sauce and Jair as your free spaces.
I think I would still rather have Jalen Ramsey.
Fine.
God, it's bad for corners.
Although Ramsey's out till December, so
the Seattle
he's hurt
corners are
too.
pretty good, both of them.
Woolen's a baller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough world right now for the quarterback position.
Saints corner. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Lattimore.
Lattimore.
I don't know if he's better than Denzel. I don't know. You're talking about the same realm now. Pat Surtain is better than him. Patrick Surtain's better.
He got a bit exposed by some of the better wide receivers in his rookie year, which
I'm glad you said that.
understandable.
No, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I think people are getting a little bit too big for their britches when it comes to Pat Surtain. People are talking about Surtain like he's some elite, omnipotent corner so far. He just isn't. He's good. He's really good.
J.C. Horn. I'm not really ready to call it, but I could see that coming. Yeah, Darius Slay.
Slay's good.
Might not be for that much longer.
Evidenced by the fact that the Eagles kept Josh Jobs, Mario Goodrich, and Eli Ricks all on the roster. We have 7 corners. That's not an exaggeration.
Okay, anyways. Let's talk.
The worst corner on the roster right now might be Keely Ringo. That's how good the corners are. That's how good our corners are.
I wasn't too hot on Keely Ringo, though.
No, I understand that, but it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that Keely Ringo's still good. They're all good. Anyway,
let's talk about
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Just barely missing the playoffs at 9-8.
Yeah, but Tomlin 9-8. I mean, it's just. I think he lost that streak, right?
Yeah, I think he did, right?
Yeah. So I expect there's a lot of fervor coming out of Pitt. I almost feel like a little bit of energy coming out of Pittsburgh this year.
I think Pickett will improve. I just don't think
I do too.
I just don't think he'll take enough of a step this year to push them in.
So they added to the O-line a bit.
Yeah.
Not enough. That's where I'm at. They didn't do enough. They did a good job. They did what they could do. But they needed to do more.
My problem is this is a playoff team in the NFC. I truly believe that.
Probably.
The AFC is a lot harder to get into the playoffs with. You'll see how hard it is when we talk about the AFC East with a couple of surprises there. But I think Pickett's getting better. Najee, he's fine. I'm a little disappointed with him. I think George Pickens will get better.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up I've pulled up their draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
And, they addressed 2 massive holes with their first 2 picks. They needed an O-lineman. They got Broderick Jones. We liked Broderick Jones. They needed Joey Porter. You loved Joey.
I love Joey.
They got Joey Porter, and we knew he was going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They took Keanu Benton, also in the second round, a nose tackle. They needed a DT. And they took Darnell Washington, a tight end, a second tight end to go with Freiermuth, who we're all expecting to have a much better year.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh's on the rise, for sure. If you want to tell me that you want to pick Pittsburgh to win 10 or even 11, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
I think 9's more realistic. But if you tell me to get 11, okay, sure. Hell yeah. 12? No, I'm not there. I'm not a 12. I'm not a 12. I can get you to 11.
Speaking of 12, the Baltimore Ravens, 12-5. I think we're all expecting the Ravens to be healthy this year.
See, this is why I say Pittsburgh, I can't get to 12. Because there are 2 teams in their division that are on paper just flat out better.
Yeah.
Flat out. Baltimore is a really good really strong, really talented, really fast, really well coached, and well facilitated football team. That said, Baltimore feels to me like the best team that you could possibly build without real Super Bowl potential. That's what it feels like to me. They are a very good football team that can't win the Super Bowl.
They're a divisional team, divisional weekend.
They are going to win a division or high wild card and lose early. That's what they're going to do. They've got good receivers.
For once, actually.
They have really good receivers. If Beckham is healthy, fingers crossed. And I say fingers crossed not because, we're not dying to see Odell Beckham play well, but Odell Beckham is a fun football player. When he's available, he's a fun player to watch.
People forget when the Rams won the Super Bowl, Odell Beckham was showing out before he got hurt.
Yeah, before he fucked his knee up. He tore his knee. He was showing out. People forget Odell Beckham was a Ram.
Mm-hmm.
Odell Beckham is on his fourth team?
I think so, yeah.
Giants, Browns, Rams.
Ravens,
yeah. People forget Beckham is on his fourth team.
And next year he'll join the Chiefs.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
Anyways.
Yeah, Baltimore's reason to be excited. I will say this, and I'm going to throw everybody a fantasy bone here, which plays against me because the team and I are drafting against each other this week.
Yeah, we're actually one spot. We're next to each other.
I pick right in front of you.
Yeah.
In odd number rounds.
Yep.
I get odds, you get evens.
And not only that,
yeah,
John has already seen me do one draft.
I did. And Epteen doesn't know this, but 2 of the things I told him were planned lies. But 2 of the things I told him were planned red herrings. Not lies, but are literally the opposite of what my personal strategy is. Still legitimate strategies.
I still like my team, though.
You have a very good team.
I don't like my running back 2. My running back 2 is James Conner. I don't like having a Cardinal.
It's touchdowns.
I know. I don't like having a Cardinal, to be quite frank.
If anybody's going to score a fucking touchdown in that team, it's James Conner.
Especially these 4 weeks. These 4 weeks without Kyler Murray.
Oh my God! The amount of times he's touching the football is going to be.
You know what? I might trade him after those 4 weeks.
I'll take him. I'm not in that draft. I'm not in that league. Anyway, so the Ravens are built well, but here's what I'm going to say. My bone. Really? Everybody's getting hyped about J.K. Dobbins? Everybody's getting really hyped about J.K. What?
Why are we getting hyped about a running back on the same team Lamar Jackson's on?
Have you noticed people are getting really high on J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is this... this isn't even a Shaq thing. What's good, Shaq? But no, I'm legitimately meaning this from a general consensus. I forgot about that, actually. No, this is not this. I promise I forgot about that.
John hates you.
I legitimately forgot about that. No, I just don't. I heard it on the radio the other day, actually. I heard it on the radio. There was a fantasy sports guy talking about J.K. Dobbins, and it was like, really? I'm not saying he's going to be a bad performer. I'm just a running back on Lamar's team. I'm just not there. I can't get there.
It kind of just feels like he won't reach his potential.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, the Cincinnati Bengals win their division, also at 12-5. I know people are
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
The opposite of J.K. Dobbins.
I know people are looking forward to these games, so I'm going to call them out. We have the Bills beating them in Week 9, and we have the Chiefs beating them in Week 17.
But they win the other ones.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, Bengal fans. We love you just enough to lose to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And now we go to the AFC
that is what we picked.
Yeah. Now we go to the AFC East, where the New England Patriots are 6-11.
Now, for a lot of teams with pedigree, this would result in a coach being fired.
I'm very down on the Patriots.
Stop. I know, but no, he's not going anywhere. Bill Belichick gets to leave when Bill Belichick fucking says he leaves. He's earned that.
I honestly think 6-11 might end up being too high.
I know you do.
There's not really anything on that roster. Can we be honest?
It's a tough world when the best player on your roster on offense, your best offensive weapon, is Hunter Henry. And your second best offensive weapon is potentially like Ramondre Stevenson. And then it's Juju. And then it's somehow Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not. The Patriots on offense are going to have trouble. And they no longer have a quarterback that isn't named Mac Jones.
Yeah, by the way, Bailey Zappi got cut. I can't
They
believe that.
waived Zappi. Listen, if he doesn't get claimed, he'll be transferred to the practice squad in a heartbeat. But I'm surprised by some of the decisions that were made by the New England Patriots today. I don't know the Patriots offseason well enough to make a judgment call on that, but it means that somebody showed out enough, in their opinion, to warrant leaving Bailey Zappi vulnerable to waivers. That's what that means.
Can we also talk about who's still on the coaching staff for the Patriots?
I don't need to, but go ahead.
Let's see. We got one New York Giant failed head coach, one Detroit Lion failed head coach.
JoJo, no.
No?
Matt Patricia is on my staff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Matt Patricia is in Philly.
I forgot about that.
I did.
You idiot.
Matt Patricia is on my staff.
Joe Judge is still there. They brought in Bill O'Brien, which is a legitimate upgrade. And frankly, that might get them to the 6 wins. This feels like a 4-win team to me. It really does.
Yeah, you know what's funny about Bill O'Brien is all of a sudden everybody's like, okay, Bill O'Brien's respectable. Like, it's just immediately everyone's like, yeah, all right, fine.
All right, yeah, let's just forget about what happened with the Texans.
Yeah, let's forget about all the other crap. Let's just now. Patricia is on as senior defensive assistant, which is essentially just man in charge of nothing.
Yeah, it's
man.
Like, here's a free
man in charge. Man in charge of staying the fuck away from Darius Slay. Don't go anywhere near him. He doesn't like you. Like, just don't touch him.
All right, let's move on to the third team. Who will it be? Buffalo? Miami?
It's Miami. It's Miami.
No?
Oh, I'm wrong.
It's the New York
Oh,
Jets.
Yeah, it's the Jets. Sorry.
New York Jets barely missed the playoffs at 10-7.
Good.
The Hat Man has come for Aaron. Run from the Hat Man, Aaron.
What?
Do you not know this?
What's the Hat Man?
Okay, so let me fully explain this. Aaron Rodgers has taken hallucinogenics. We all know this.
He said it.
Yeah.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. And when he takes them, he sees a shadowy figure called the Hat Man, which is a shared hallucinogen with a lot of people who take this. like he straight up sees a horror film from Paranormal Activity.
Yo, I don't know if any kids listen to this show, but this should be the measurement right now. Do not do ayahuasca, kids.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do any drugs. Stay as far away from whatever the fuck Aaron Rodgers is doing as possible. If Aaron Rodgers or Joe Rogan say, hey, we do X thing, don't do it.
Don't do Shailene Woodley. Shailene Woodley. Don't do Olivia Munn. Don't do Danica Patrick.
Stay very far away from everything Aaron Rodgers and Joe Rogan tell you to do.
Yeah.
I think Joe Rogan supported the vaccination at one point. Maybe do that. You can do that. And Rogan believes.
Also, he was very anti-Trump. Do that.
Yeah, he was. He at a time.
Yeah.
And also, he believes in climate change. That's fine. Good.
Yeah. Go
Other
outside.
than that.
Go outside and look at the 100-degree weather and tell me climate change isn't real.
No. I'm telling you right now, he's right on 2 things. But he has 1 million podcast episodes. Just stay away.
Anyways, the Jets get better.
Even the worst person you know occasionally makes a decent point.
The Jets get better.
Like me.
I think Aaron Rodgers is getting worse. I think we all know it.
No.
And then we're just waiting for the other half to agree with us. So we have them missing the playoffs, but 10-7 is still very respectable.
We're too ahead of our time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction on the Jets real quick, though.
Okay.
We all know Sauce Gardner's a great corner.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you somebody exposes him this year. He's going to have a game. He's going to have one game. One. Where he looks pedestrian as hell.
Okay, well, the Jets play Kansas City.
It's not that one.
The Eagles.
It could be that one.
The Chargers.
It could be that one.
It's not going to happen against Devontae Adams and the Raiders.
No.
Not with Jimmy.
No.
But that's about it.
Does he play Tennessee?
No.
Okay. Because I know he's not as valuable as he used to be, but Nuke Hopkins could eat this guy's lunch. 1-to-1, you tell me. I mean, the body control on Nuke Hopkins is absurd.
Of course he plays Miami, so Tyreek Hill.
Oh, no, Reek is going to streak him, but I think he had held his own with Reek last year. He's a good corner. He's a really good corner. It's like we fucking knew that. You know who didn't was Houston.
I still can't believe they did that.
Derek Stingley.
Let's take the injured and hasn't played football.
Hasn't played football.
How hard is this?
How hard is this to do? You're a football player. Play football.
It should be the first question on the draft scout report. Did he play football?
Did you play football? No? Get out of my office.
The Miami Dolphins at 11-6 sneak into the playoffs. I think people want to see this happen more than it might actually happen. Like, I think everyone's kind of riding on the Dolphins right now. It reminds me very much about like the Chargers, just in general every year. Oh, the Chargers are a sleeper team. Watch out for the Chargers, and then they don't do anything.
Kay Adams is really big on him this year.
Oh, is she?
I'm
big on Kay Adams.
I know. She had what was his name? She had Darren Sproles on this week or today or something. And Sproles, former Charger, former Eagle, former Saint, told him about the whole Chargers thing, and he said immediately, "He's like, I don't believe it. They don't have a coach." That's all he said. He was like, "Their coaching staff is bad." It's like, oh, all right, Darren. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Like, he was, he did not mince words, and he's wearing a Phillies cap while he's doing it. Like, it's so weird. But yeah, the question with the Chargers is, wait, are we talking about the Chargers?
No, we're
already?
talking about the Dolphins.
I blanked out for a second. I'm like, what the fuck?
You blanked out and went from Tua to Justin Herbert. Just like in the draft.
Oh.
Let's talk about Buffalo Bills.
Man, you confused the fuck out of me right now.
I'm going to cut you off. Let's talk about Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills win the division and get the second seed at 13-4. I've said it again. I'll say it again. I've said it multiple times. I don't think Buffalo's winning the Super Bowl. I don't think they have the coaching for it. To be quite honest with you.
Josh Allen's got one chance.
I think
one chance.
I think Josh Allen's a little overrated, and I would still have him as a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
I just like the way the Bills play when the pressure is actually on them. I don't think they have it. I just don't think they have the winning mentality in them, which is crazy to say for a team we have going 13-4.
So Von Miller's pup as well.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't play football.
He doesn't play football.
He hasn't played ball in a year and a half either.
Okay, but the Bills start off the season with the Jets, Raiders, Washington, Miami. That's honestly a little bit of a hard schedule. We only have them losing to the Jets, but there could be a couple of surprises early on.
Yeah, we have a jet split with these Bills. Mm-hmm. We do. We have a jet split.
Let's move on to the last division, the AFC West. And let's start with my commitment to excellence. The Autumn Wind is a 5-12 Raider.
The Autumn Wind is a shit show.
We have the Raiders going 5-12.
The Autumn Wind smells terrible.
I have a sick fear that we are way off on this.
Where you think they'll win too many more?
Oh, I think they're going to win more, and it's scaring me.
If you win any more of it, you'll get no quarterback.
I know. That's the problem, John.
Yes, it is the problem, team.
The Raiders are a team in transition.
It's you. Hi. They're the problem. It's them.
It's you. Hi. P.F. Chang's has blocked you now.
What's the name of that strip club that gave Jimmy a full ride or something?
Oh, you mean my fantasy team name?
Yes.
Larry Flint's Hustler Club.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Jimmy Garoppolo has a lifetime membership to a strip club in Vegas.
And also flew planes like Top Gun. Is he even really trying to be a quarterback anymore?
Did he really?
Yeah, today.
You want to laugh? Fucking Brandon Cooks flew Stephon Gilmore and Micah Parsons to their game.
What?
Yeah, Brandon Cooks, I guess, can fly planes. Jerry Jones wasn't happy.
I wouldn't be either.
I agree with Jerry Jones for once.
How many concussions has Brandon Cooks had?
Enough.
Isn't it like a lot?
It's not a few.
Yeah.
He got at least one in the Super Bowl because
Anyways.
Malcolm Jenkins said this head doesn't belong to you anymore.
Anyways, we have the Raiders going 5-12. My gut says they win 7 or 8, which really pisses me off.
But we did our math.
Yeah.
And our proprietary algorithm doesn't exist, said 5.
Yeah. Let's go to the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. 6-11. Sean Payton is being paid $16 or $18 million a year for this.
Not only that, 2 of the Raiders' wins are the Broncos.
Woo! Yeah, the Broncos, we have 1-5 in the division. We have them splitting with, I think, the Chargers.
Yeah.
Great. That's it. There's nothing to see here.
Jerry Jeudy's going to be out for the first...
Judy's
4
missing
weeks?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Judy's going to miss some time. Cortland Sutton, I think, is just coming back from missing time.
Mm-hmm.
Javonte Williams is coming
got
back from the
hurt.
season ender.
Yeah.
They added Mike McGlinchey, which is subtraction by addition. I'm worried if I'm a Denver fan.
And they lost
I'm
Albert O.
And they traded Albert O.
We have the Los Angeles Chargers making the playoffs with a 2-4 divisional record at 10-7.
We have them winning enough of their at-large games to make that happen. Now, I'm going to...
You want me to tell you? You want me to pull up their schedule?
No, I don't. I don't. The reason I don't is because when I look at the Chargers and the Broncos as teams, I see a lot of similarities,
Yeah.
just in different positions. Does J.C. Jackson still play for the Chargers?
I think he does. Wait, does
I'm going to
he?
double check.
J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson is a Charger.
Yeah, probably just because financially he can't not be.
Yeah.
The Chargers are in a weird spot. Because I'm going to pull their depth chart real quick.
While you do that, I just want to say, if you look up J.C. Jackson, the first 2 questions are, what happened to J.C. Jackson? And how much did the Chargers pay for J.C. Jackson?
Yeah, too much. The Chargers are in a good position.
They have
but
a
not
good
a
quarterback.
great position. They have a great quarterback.
They re-signed him
They
too,
have a-
didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
They gave him a big old contract. They have a very good offensive line. Not great, but very good. They have a very deep wide receiving core with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, with Quentin Johnston as the 3, which I know you and I weren't that big on him.
But that's
as
still
a
a sick 3, yeah.
As a 3,
Yeah.
that's pretty solid.
Let's be very clear. We weren't big on him as a wide receiver 1.
A 1.
Yeah.
And let's go to the defense. On the line, Morgan Fox, Sebastian Joseph Day, Austin Johnson. It's not good. But then you have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the edges.
Yeah, but Mac also wasn't that good last year.
I understand.
Yeah.
With Eric Kendricks and Kenneth Murray in the interior.
Eric Kendricks isn't that good.
He's older.
And Kenneth Murray definitely isn't that good.
They also drafted Diane Henley.
Yeah.
Who I was big on. J.C. Jackson at corner.
Which isn't good.
Derwin James at safety.
Which is very good when healthy.
Asante Samuel at nickel.
Very good.
Michael Davis, I don't know anything about him.
He's okay. Yeah, he's fine.
And then another safety I've never heard of. My point being, this team should have no problem winning 10 games. On paper, they should have no problem winning 10 games. And if they can't do it, if they don't do it this year, playoffs or not, Staley needs to leave.
I can't believe he survived that playoff game.
I agree with you. I am surprised he survived that. Because I'm going to make a bold statement.
Okay.
I think it is more likely the Chargers win 4 games than they win 11.
Wow.
More likely. Not because the Chargers are not a good team. They're obviously a good team. But it's possible that coach is that bad. Because that game...
He's the second worst coach in the division.
Yes. Hell, I'll even throw you a bone.
You shouldn't.
And you know how much I hate Josh McDaniels. But I mean, if I had to pick a coach I hate in the conference the most, I'd probably pick Josh McDaniels. But if I had to pick a coach I think is the most in over his head in the conference, it would be Brandon Staley. Because I will tell you, while I do not like Josh McDaniels' coaching style and track record as a head coach, he would have won that playoff game. In that situation.
No. Do I need to remind you how many leads the Raiders lost in last year?
Several. Several.
I think it was 7, Sean.
Several. But the Chargers do have a better roster than the Raiders do.
7?
They have a better roster than the Raiders do. There is not a single position, except for potentially edge rusher, where the Raiders are definitely better than the Chargers. Not one. Yeah, you think about it real hard. None of them.
Who's the tight end
It's
for the
none
Chargers?
of them. I did skip tight end. Gerald Everett, you're probably better.
Yeah.
But we don't know. You have a rookie.
Yeah.
We don't know. You have a rookie. Last year, sure, but he got hurt constantly.
Oh, yeah.
So there's nothing on the Raiders that's objectively better than what the Chargers have other than Crosby. That's it. So, and that's a big thing. I mean, Crosby's amazing. But Bosa to Crosby, it's like 51-49 Bosa. It's close. It's close, but I think you'd still pick Bosa, probably.
No, I wouldn't.
I know you would.
I think Bosa's a prick.
Sure, but he's a monster. There's no doubting. Listen, it's picking the 4th or 3rd best guy. It's not you're picking an elite player or an elite player. It's a good question. It's a good problem to have. So I don't know, but I'm worried about these Chargers. They're a good team on paper. That Herbert kid has got the best fucking arm in the entire league. He has the best arm. And for those that have listened to the show long enough, you will know how big I am on saying that about a certain quarterback that definitely isn't the quote-unquote best in football, because I said it forever about Matt Stafford, and damn it, I was fucking right. And then he won a Super Bowl, you bastards.
And then he fell apart, you bastards.
And then he fell apart, you bastards. Because you didn't protect him, you bastards. Anyway, the point is, Herbert's arm is so perfect as a pure thrower of the football, with the targets he has, it's made Gerald Everett look like a top-end tight end.
At times, yeah.
Maybe, at times. Donald Parham has looked good with Justin Herbert. That's witchcraft. There's a player, there's a team there to deal with. I got very confused for a second. I thought the door in your background was in my background. I was like, when did the door open?
There, John? Is that?
I was like, yeah, the Nun 2.
The Nunning.
Dude, they're making a second one.
Oh God.
It's coming out. There's like a lot of previews. It looks terrible. And you know what's funny? All the previews look exactly the same as the first one. Identical.
From the minds that brought you The Conjuring and John Woo.
Here's the Nun. Here's a nun. Scary yet? Let's go to the Chiefs.
Let's talk about the most boring team in the league. The Kansas City Chiefs are 14-3, 6-0 in the division, and on a collision course with the Eagles for the Super Bowl. Yeah. We've all heard this before.
Patrick Mahomes is really good at football. Andrew Reid's really good at coaching football.
Chris Jones is really good.
Chris Jones has not shown up yet, and he's not fucking gonna.
Listen, how much money has Chris Jones made? Like, I'm all for players getting money. And he's already won, 2 Super Bowls?
Yep, he's got 2 rings.
He probably feels a little disrespected. But, how much has the Chiefs actually given him already?
Chris Jones, so far in his NFL career, he was on a 4-year, $80 million deal.
Okay, he's made $67 million. $67.5 million. It's enough. It's a lot of money.
You know what's funny?
What?
They can outright cut him and save $21 million. They're not going to cut him, but they can outright cut him and save $21 million.
I get that he wants to get a contract.
Well, he's a free agent at the end of the year. Listen, here's what's going to happen. He's going to report probably at some point. And then the next offseason is going to happen. And they're going to tag him.
Yep. And he's not going to report.
And he's not going to report.
And they're going to trade him.
Next year.
No, they're going to trade him.
To who?
To the New Orleans Saints.
Philly! Saints! The Cleveland Browns. The Saints are pretty money, man. Anyway, that's our status.
Yeah, I'll do a quick rundown. The AFC by top bottom is the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, and the Jacksonville Jaguars as your division winners. Your wild card in order: Miami Dolphins, Los Angeles Chargers. I'm sorry. I read a 5 as a 6. Baltimore Ravens, Miami Dolphins, and then the Los Angeles Chargers. In the NFC, your division winners are in order: the Eagles, the Seahawks, the Detroit Lions, and the New Orleans Saints.
What a world, by the way. What a world, by the way, where the Seahawks are a fucking 2 seed.
And
coaching, baby, coaching.
The New York Giants will lead the wild cards with the Minnesota Vikings and San Francisco 49ers wrapping up our playoff teams.
We take those.
See you next week.
Next week, we're going to reload. We're going to do a few things next week. We may not reload shot takes yet. We're thinking about it.
John still owes a lot.
Yeah, I owe a lot. The status of shot takes is currently under consideration. But we are going to bring in predictions for league awards. And did we have another idea we were going to do? No, what was that? It was reload and league awards.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk a little bit about fantasy football because our draft will be over and we can talk about it.
Yeah, finally.
We can put our league on blast.
Yeah. I'm drafting the day before kickoff.
Okay.
My last draft is the day before kickoff.
That's the way you should do it, honestly.
I agree. We have so many people bitching about why it's like, why are you drafting so late? It's like, I don't know, maybe because Jonathan Taylor wasn't on the PUP yet.
Maybe because Josh Jacobs was still unsigned.
Right.
These are both running backs.
Like, this is insane.
Like, these are both running backs people will probably draft.
Right. Now they won't.
All right. That'll do it for us. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sorry if I sounded like poop.